Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night comic book
Hey,
preview stream here at Fantasy Books and Games. I am Aaron. This is Sam.
hey, what up?
And yeah, we're going to talk about some new comics coming out tomorrow.
Sounds good.
There's some choice books being released. I think
Yeah,
there were three new number one series, all from DC, that
yeah.
I'm super excited about. And then there was even a fourth number one from Marvel
Okay.
that I think we're going to talk about.
We both read that one,
We
I think.
both read
Yeah.
it, yeah. But yeah, like I was, we've kind of been talking about how January, February, it's like it's not always a ton of new stuff, and I do feel
And
like
then
they
boom.
like all of a sudden it comes all at once. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the schedule just worked out that way, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of new stuff to talk about from Marvel and DC. I should say there's not as much like other publishers' new
I didn't
stuff. It
see a
was
ton of indie stuff.
nah, me
No.
neither. But anyway, you know how I like to start these streams
I
off,
sure do.
and that is with some good old facsimile reprints of older material. And
Nice.
tomorrow we are blessed with three different facsimile reprints. One of them I am actually very happy to see, but I'm also frustrated
Why's that?
because they've done a facsimile of this before,
Oh.
and I bought it,
Okay.
but now they have a better version of the facsimile out. This
With like
is Wonder Woman #1 in the original Golden Age dimensions. So like previous
um
facsimiles they've done, it was just normal comic book size, like
right.
the 6.2 by 10.25, whatever that is.
Sounds fun.
And so, but for the last couple of years, they did reprints of the first Superman and the first Batman, Action Comics 1 and Detective 20
You're quizzing me right now?
what Detective 27.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And so oh yeah, Jessica just reminded me it's St. Patrick's Day. We
Yeah.
are both
We're
wearing
both
green,
wearing
so
green.
yeah, you can't,
No pinching.
no pinching. We're on it. There was one St. Patrick's Day comic on the shelf and I forgot to grab it. I just thought of that.
Oh,
uh
I could get it real
Go,
quick.
yeah, go
Yeah.
get it. Well, I tell them about this Wonder Woman comic. um but yeah, so it's just nice that they're reprinting them in the original Golden Age size. As we all know, comics back then were a lot bigger. I can't even fit it on the full screen here, but like you can see, like if we just compare it to a normal size comic, like the next facsimile we're going to see, you can see that like they've shrunk in size over time. And I really am excited that they're doing them the original size. You get to really, it's a true facsimile. I've quibbled in the past about, about like the definition of facsimile and how sometimes it's used loosely. And so I
Yes.
really like that this is actually a facsimile, like printed at the correct size and everything else.
Right, yeah.
The next facsimile, I just gave them a little preview when comparing the sizes, is Detective Comics. This is number 576, and this is part two of the Batman Year 2 storyline. Last year, DC reprinted Batman Year 1, and this year they're reprinting Batman Year 2. And as I've said before, the quality of their reprints is just astounding. This is a cover by McFarlane.
Oh, jeez.
This is not the issue that has the famous cover by him, but
Right.
yeah. So this is, I've never read Batman Year 2 up until now with these facsimiles, so I'm really excited to get a chance to read it in like a an authentic format, as it
Yeah.
were.
What are you thinking when as you're reading it?
Oh, I haven't read this issue yet. I
Okay.
liked the first issue though. It was pretty good. It was uh, I, there's it was a different creative team that did the first issue, and I
Okay.
don't remember what the whole deal is with that. But because yeah, this one is by McFarlane. He's a penciler on this, so this is like early McFarlane stuff. Is before he went to Marvel.
Oh, I can kind of see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cool stuff. Looking forward to reading this one. If you haven't read Batman Year 2, there's a good opportunity to check it out. Another facsimile, one that I am actually, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm always excited about facsimiles. But this is Phoenix, The Untold Story. This one is from Marvel. And you
Oh.
might be looking at this like, what the heck even is this? This came out in '84, I believe, and this prints the original version of the end of the Dark Phoenix saga,
Oh.
which I don't know if you were aware,
No,
Sam.
I just read it in X-Men. I didn't
So there was a lot of editorial interference with the Dark Phoenix saga.
I didn't know that.
The original, I mean, I don't want to, I guess, spoil the ending in here, but the original ending is different in this issue. So this reprints the original issue 127, I think. I forget which cover it is, but it's in the back. There we are. There's also you can see there's a nice roundtable interview discussion between Jim Shooter and John Byrne and Chris Claremont and Jim Salicrup. Cool. Yeah, they don't have the issue number on there, but I think it was either 127 or 127 sounds about right. But so it reprints the original issue. So that's like this opening with the Watcher, and you have them the X-Men summoned by the Shi'ar Empire because Phoenix, Jean Grey,
ate that
she destroyed a planet and killed billions of people of life forms, and she's got to pay for her crimes. And the original ending did not have her dying. There was like a different ending.
Okay.
Again, I don't really want to spoil what the plan was or what the ending was, but that was an editorial interference by Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief, because he kind of stepped in and was like, well, in the previous issue or in a few issues ago, you kind of had Jean commit genocide on a planetary scale.
Yeah.
So she's got to be punished for that. Like, she can't just like get away, scot-free and have everything be hunky-dory. Yeah. And so they talk actually a lot about it in this back interview, which I really liked. They sort of, it's a little joking, like it's a little after the fact, because this, I believe, was printed in 84, and the original storyline would have been in like 79, 80, somewhere in there. And they're kind of like all like passing the buck of like, whose fault is it? Like, who decided to kill Jean? Like, whose idea was that? And there's a little bit of that, but like ultimately Jim Shooter was the one who was like, no, you have to change this ending. Yeah. He didn't necessarily tell them that they had to kill her, but he was like, you have to make it,
she has to be punished.
She has to be punished in some way. Yeah. And so they just ended up with killing her, which I'll be perfectly honest, I think is a better ending. Right. It's such a really good, powerful ending. The only problem with it is that several years later, Jim Shooter had the big idea of like, let's get the original X-Men team back together, Cyclops and Angel and Beast and Iceman and Marvel Girl. Oh, wait, she's dead. Now he had to step in with a new editorial edict, find a way to bring her back. So Jean Grey's continuity in her history is a little bit of a mess. Yes. But this is still neat to read, to see the original. Like I said, it prints the original issue right up until like it splits it into three chapters. Where they have like the big fight, and then there's the like this is the page where it changes. So you can kind of see there's I mean, it's not that, it's like 4 pages. Like, it's just kind of like, this is all new. This is not in the original issue. And then they have like the interview in the back where they kind of talk about it, and Chris Claremont talks about what some of his future plans for Jean were with the different ending, which all got scrapped because of they killed her. Right. But still pretty cool. I think it's neat that they're reprinting this. Kind of like this is like a little bit of a tease of something we're getting later this year, where I mean, we'll talk about it more in depth when it comes out, but John Byrne has basically been doing his own X-Men fan fiction for the last like 5 years, where he's just been writing and drawing X-Men comics as if he never left. That's cool. Like, he picking up immediately after, like, I think it was Days of Future Past was the last 2 issues that he did. And it's like, he's just writing them how he would have done it if he had stayed on, but he left. Nice. So, and there's a lot. Yeah. Like, there's like 30 issues. 5 years. Yeah, it's like 30 issues worth of stuff. It's incredible. They're going to print it, finally. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. This is like a little bit of a tease of like alternate future 80s X-Men, What could have been, exactly. Yeah. All right, anyway, let's move on to some more contemporary stuff. We have a couple of books that are second, or in some cases third, printings of number ones that have come out recently. First, we have Bleeding Hearts. This is a second printing of number one, came out I guess it was 2 months ago. Yeah, it was about 2 months ago. We talked about both issue 1 and issue 2. Mm-hmm. We both really liked this one.
Very strong.
I highly recommend it. Like we said, Denise Camp is doing a lot of good stuff. Yeah. But I really like this artist, Stepan Morian. Mm-hmm. It's really fantastic. I don't think we need to go into it in too much detail. We've already talked about it.
It's good.
But if you miss the first issue, you can get it. Second printing is out tomorrow. No. Also, third printing of D'Orc. This is another one that everybody's been clamoring for Dork. It's just been the public demands more Dork.
Yeah.
And so third printing is here tomorrow. There's even a fourth printing, I think, coming in a few weeks. They've been really going to press a lot with this book.
Just came out.
Yeah, it just came. Issue 2 came out last week.
Right.
So they got that second printing out really fast. I think the second printing came out before issue 2.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you missed it, now's your chance to grab third printing. Got a new cover. That's pretty cool. Let's see. There was another second printing that you had, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Sky.
That's right. Second printing of White Sky. This is another one that went really fast when the first issue came out. We didn't, I don't think we even talked about it on the stream.
I didn't read it when it came out.
I didn't read it when it came out either. I didn't have a chance to. But did you read this one?
I did.
All right. Well, what'd you think?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
So, the elevator pitch that I would give it is it's a lot like Walking Dead, but instead of zombies, it's ghosts.
Okay.
You get that in the first issue. So our story follows Violet and her dad as they're just roaming across the countryside. We don't really know exactly where they're going, but it's pretty clear that they have some kind of mission or something that they're trying to accomplish. If that is just to survive or not, I don't know.
Right, I gotcha.
But they get raided in the middle of the night, and he panics and goes out there with his gun. And some voice contacts the girl, Violet, and tells her to form a circle of salt because something's coming.
Yeah, like specters.
Yeah.
Okay, neat. Yeah. This one just kind of skipped me by. But so yeah, if you missed it, like I did, now's your opportunity to grab second printing. Is out tomorrow.
And it was a good one.
All right, another interesting. It's not really a comic. It's not a reprint. It's a book, as far as I can tell. It is shrink wrapped. I'm not going to open it for the stream, but it is a pretty neat looking series. This is Jurassic Park, the making of Steven. I almost said Steven Seagal. Steven Spielberg's iconic film. This is a book, but as you can see, it's clearly done up to look like. Look, you can see my reflection on the cellophane there.
And it fooled me.
Yeah, it did because it clearly looks like a VHS tape, like the spine here. It's even got like a little sticker on it, and you can see the back there. It's a little description of it. But yeah, it's a book that's just about the making of Jurassic Park, but it is clever book design.
Nice.
It's got a slipcase, like this is a slipcase you pull the book out of, and yeah, pretty neat looking. I like dinosaurs.
I know you like dinosaurs.
So
you mentioned that before.
I do like dinosaurs. I like the Jurassic Park movie. I don't love them.
Yeah.
But like they're pretty good as far as just dinosaur entertainment goes. Although I hate the second one.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say, like, you probably really like the first one, but you probably hate the second.
I do. Actually, I don't hate the third one.
Okay.
It's not very good, but at least it has some neat stuff in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not really here to talk about Jurassic Park. I do not like any of the Jurassic World movies.
No,
they're just
they
awful.
are pretty bland.
Pretty bland, exactly. But anyway, if you like Jurassic Park, definitely check out this neat little making of book. All right, I think we're just moving on now to some actual new comics that are coming out tomorrow. I can't believe this is issue 5 already. I've been reading, this is stuff in my regular pull. American Caper, I really like this book.
That's not the last issue, is it?
I haven't read it yet,
okay,
but I don't think so.
Okay, good.
But yeah, we've talked about this one. I think most issues that have come out. This is just fun crime comics, art by David Lapham. Fun crime comics, But yeah, like I'm a big fan of David. I guess I should be careful about which page I turn to.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of an R-rated book, but it's really good. I like that it's like an interesting crime drama, but it doesn't necessarily go the way I initially thought it was going to go in the first issue. Yeah. It takes a weird turn, and that's really good. It kept me hooked. So very good stuff. I recommend it definitely if you haven't checked it out. Pick it up. Let's see. Actually, let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
While we're talking about David Lapham, Matt Kent and David Lapham's Night City comes out. I haven't read this issue yet, but I loved the first issue, so I'm really looking forward to this one. This one, it's funny looking at it compared to American Caper, because like the art is in this one, David Lapham does the pencils, but or I guess he does all of the art, but the colors are by Matt Kint, which is what makes it look so unique and kind of different. Like let's just compare kind of random pages. You can just see
Same guy.
like
Crazy.
same penciler and inker, but like the different like because there's clearly watercoloring on this one, and yeah, just really neat the way you can totally transform a style.
That's unreal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even look remotely like the
It,
same.
you wouldn't
style or
necessarily think it's the
pages.
same artist.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but yeah. So I really liked this one. That the high concept is that there's a superhero, and whenever he goes to sleep in his dreams, or perhaps in a parallel world, he's just a normal guy. And then whenever the normal guy sleeps, or perhaps in in his dreams or in another world, he's a superhero. And it's sort of there's a little bit of a like a surreal this is overused, but like kind of like a David Lynchian,
Yeah.
like what's reality and what's fake. And I like though that it plays too with just some like comic book tropes where they are both real.
Right.
It's just because it's
accepted.
It's just because it's a weird superhero sci-fi fantasy setting. So I really like this one. If you missed issue 1, check it out. Good. I mean, I'm a big fan of Matt Kint and David Lapham. Let's see. Also, in my regular poll, briefly mention G.I. Joe because I have to always mention G.I. Joe because I really like G.I. Joe. I haven't read this issue yet either, but I am excited about it because it is our camera autofocus doesn't want to. There we go. Oh, come on now.
It was just
there.
doing
There it goes. There it goes.
There we
Boom.
go.
I'm excited because, as you can see, Optimus Prime is on the cover. We're finally getting some like crossover between the books. That's been one of my kind of like criticisms of the G.I. Joe and the Transformers books is that they feel kind of disconnected, where like the whole selling point is that it's a shared universe,
Right.
And so I'm hoping things kind of line up. We'll see. This cover though is a little bit of a tease because if you read last week's Transformers, there's a little bit of I didn't even want to spoil it, but there's a little bit of a twist of what's going on with Optimus Prime. So it'll be interesting to see him showing up in this, and that
even I know about the twist that happened.
You do? Oh my gosh! Did you read Transformers?
A customer
spoiled it for you.
Hey, look at this issue! A lot of people are complaining about this plot twist, blah, yada da da da. And I was like, oh, okay, and just sort of absorbed all the information.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nice thing about working in a comic book store is you sort of just like osmosis. You learn everything, and people love talking about comics. As guilty as charged, but. Yeah, so that's anyway. G.I. Joe, Transformers. What else do I need to say?
Right.
There we go. All right, so I've been doing a lot of talking, Sam. What's something that you got?
We can talk about. Do you want to do Sentry or Batwoman?
Oh, whichever one.
Okay, let's do Batwoman.
Yeah.
Because I don't think. Did you read this one?
I didn't get a chance to read it. I read the first couple of pages. This is Batwoman. It's by Greg Rucka and art by Danny, I believe is the artist's name. Yeah. And what's really neat about this is it's Greg Rucka returning to Batwoman because he's the co-creator. He kind of created the character.
Yeah.
And I love those original Detective Comics run with Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III was the artist. I was reading those when they came out. And so I've not read a lot of Batwoman other than that run, but it was really, really good. Yeah. So I am very excited for Greg Rucka to be back on Batwoman.
Yeah.
Did you say you read this whole issue?
I read the whole issue.
What did you think?
I'm not that familiar with the original Batwoman. I've really never read Batwoman.
Okay.
Other than, I think, a couple of issues if she had like a special or something with Renee Montoya. Like I feel like I've read a couple stories featuring both of those characters in the past. I thought this was good. I thought the art was excellent.
I like the art a lot too. It's different than J.H. Williams, but still really, really good. It kind of reminds me of it's actually very similar to another artist we're going to talk about on that other book, where it feels like that early 2000s type of art. Like it actually reminds me a little bit of Paul Azaceta, who is the artist on The Seasons, which we've talked about. On here. The colors are obviously a little different, but there's a little bit of that. Like Jean Paul Leon, he drew Earth X, which is a series I'm constantly recommending to you.
Yes.
But anyway, I like this a lot.
I bought that and I still haven't read
Oh,
it
did
yet.
you? Oh, you should read it. You should read it. But yeah, so how was the story?
The story was good. I think if I would have kept up with the character a little better and had a little bit of background information, I probably would have liked it more. It was a
Mhm.
good introductory. Here's the character. Here's Batwoman. Here's kind of where she is right now because of events that happened in the past. So they use that as an engine to kind of
Yeah,
get you
to
up to
kind of catch you
speed.
up to like yeah. There's that's always the interesting challenge of these like first issues of a new miniseries where they have to figure out a way to like exposition
Right.
like get the reader caught up to speed with the character's history while also like there's usually so much and especially something like this where it's like the appeal here is that Greg Rucka is writing the character again,
Right.
so it's like people like me who have read the Greg Rucka version of the character but not read many others. So I'm not going to know a lot of her history. You know, I just
Right.
have like a basic idea of where she was at one point in time. So, but that's all. You don't want to just have a like old comics in Marvel in the early 2000s. They would just have a whole page of text of
Right.
just like info dump of like here's what the character's been up
And
to.
I didn't want that. Like
No,
I
yeah.
yeah, so this was a very like it caught you up to speed in
Mm-hmm.
the most efficient way possible.
Good,
Like
good, yeah.
not a lot of text, not a lot of beating you over the head with exposition and anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. The premise is that she's in like a sanitarium in Greece, I think it
Yeah,
was.
that's what the opening. I read the
Yeah.
first couple of pages. She's in Greece and she's like clearly in some kind of mental health
Right.
thing and talking
And
to a therapist.
talking about it without revealing that she's Batwoman.
Right,
You know?
right. Yeah, she like experienced some trauma, but she can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It looks really good. I'm excited to read it.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah, I
that
thought it was good.
good. Another thing, just to briefly mention in my regular polls, the Lucky Devils. This book is just kind of like it's on its own schedule now after Ryan Brown's health issues.
Oh.
This book is like so delayed because he suffered a stroke, I believe.
Oh my god.
It was something where he was in the hospital for a long time,
Wow.
but it's back and it's still really good. You would not know that I think in issue 4 or 5, whichever one was the first one after the break. There's an afterword where he kind of talks about his like journey to heal and he had to like reteach himself how to draw. Yeah, but I haven't read this issue yet, but it is really really good. So I don't know, I do recommend it a lot. It's fun. Basically, it's just devil. It's like two low level devils trying to. I guess I should have it on the screen when I'm talking about it. Two low level devils trying to create anarchy in hell because they don't like their position in hell.
Right.
So they're the devils on people's shoulders. And so instead of trying to convince their humans to do bad things, they try to convince them to do good things because it upsets the balance of good and evil, which is another theme we'll be talking about in a different book later on. Also, in my regular polls, Battle Beast is back, baby. It's been on hiatus. I am very excited to read this again. I've read through the first few issues, or I mean, I read through the first few pages of this, and that's how I know that I cannot show the first few pages on the stream. It is definitely like they're leaning into the R-rated nature of the book.
Oh my goodness.
It's like yeah, it's funny though. It is grotesque, but it is funny. And yeah, just like Ryan Otley's art is so good. A lot of, I mean, aside from the gross stuff, there's also like fun, gross violence stuff with Battle Beast.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, the plot's moving along. It's been really good. Just very fun, action packed. If like I said, I think I said reading the other issues, it just like reminded me of when I was reading Invincible the first time.
Yep.
You know, just had that like really it's just fun and it's not trying to be anything that it's not, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
You know,
it does.
all right. Another thing I want to briefly mention: there's a new issue of Lenore. I know my wife really likes this comic.
Nice.
This one stood out to me. I flipped through it. I read some of it. There's kind of the biggest reason I'm mentioning it is because there's a little bit of a humorous setup here. I like this idea that basically, as you can see from the cover, the story is called Blood and Money, and it's all about how Winnie the Pooh is now in the public domain. And so they're like, the characters are watching a bad public domain Winnie the Pooh horror movie because those exist right now.
Exist.
And the characters are just complaining about how cheap and stupid it is. And then another character's like, well, it made $10 million. And then boom, the rest of the issue is just them like. But I like that Lenore's wearing like the corpse of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And they're just like in a Winnie the Pooh action movie with Lenore as Pooh. And it's just like, yeah, pretty funny. They're like, the characters are all dressed up like dead versions of the Winnie the Pooh characters. So that made me laugh.
Yeah.
It got a chuckle out of me.
Nice.
So yeah, check that out if you like silly humor. All right, I got a couple of more books here. Two that I'll probably talk about a lot. What else did you have over there?
We also both read
Oh, okay.
Sentry, and then you had me grab.
Oh yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
This is Leprechauns horror Leprechauns comic. This might be the only like St. Patrick's Day themed comic I saw on the shelf.
I think so.
Which, I mean,
You missed an opportunity, guys.
for real.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day is not the biggest like there's not a lot of themes that translate to comic book stories. Although I'm surprised there wasn't more horror like EC Comics doing a St. Patrick's Day special. If they did, I missed it. I guess I should rule out they might have. Sometimes my eyes don't work, and I look at the shelf and my eyes just glaze over stuff. Too many comics, man.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But so this is from Antarctic Press, and it is a small press publisher. But it's if you want a leprechaun themed horror comic, here it is. The leper. Yeah, this is the first story here, though. This is actually one of the reasons I wanted to mention it. First story is by an artist that I know, James Banderas.
Oh.
I've backed some of his books on Kickstarter. He's a cool indie artist. He was pretty active in the cartoonist kayfabe fan community,
Okay.
which kind of dissolved and has evolved, I should say, is a better way to change it, since cartoonist kayfabe is not really a thing. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I was excited to see James's art in here, and there's some other. It's like an anthology, so there's just different stories, different like pinups and comics in here. But pretty neat if you read a lot of horror comics and you want St. Patrick's Day themed, here you go. They got Antarctic Press got you covered.
Nice.
All right. So now we have 3 more #1 books to talk about. And they're, I don't know, I got maybe a lot I could say about all of them. Let's start with this one, the one with Deathstroke, the Terminator #1. This is written by Tony Fleecs, who is also a guy who I think is just doing generally great work across the board.
Yeah.
He's done so much stuff. I can't even remember like what I think he's currently got what's not Stray, the cat one.
Feral?
Feral.
Yeah.
Yeah, Feral. He worked on Local Man a few years ago, which was one of my favorite books. He did a Army of Darkness comic that was really good. He's just always, this guy's always working. He's doing stuff all the time. So I'm very excited to. Oh, he did the Ben Grimm The Thing comic last year, which was one of the few Marvel comics that I really liked. So yeah, that one was good. So like I like Tony Fleecs because he's a guy that just like, I don't know, he just gets the like characters and he understands comic storytelling. He's clearly a guy that grew up reading comics in the 90s, and so he's not just some guy who came into comics like 10 years ago after the fact, like comics are in his bloodstream, man, and you can tell reading his comics. So this is a new Deathstroke series, and it's pretty good. I have virtually no attachment to the character of Deathstroke.
Okay.
I know everybody loves the Marv Wolfman, George Perez Teen Titans series from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I have not read it. And it's kind of one of those things that's like on my list of like, I should probably read through this someday, but I just haven't. But Deathstroke's a cool character. Obviously I know who he is.
Right.
And this was a really good issue. I like the there's like, I don't really want to spoil it, but it's a very entertaining single issue that also sets up kind of an ongoing plot.
Cool.
instead of just being all set up and then nothing happens. You
Right.
know, like it does a really good job of showing off like who Deathstroke is. He's a killer for hire. He's an assassin, and you introduce some like kind of the two of the main characters there in the story. Set up some family drama,
Yeah.
you know, with his daughter, I believe, is what it was, and his like I don't know what he's like his assistant guy, you know, who is like the I hate that this is like the term now, but
Alfred.
he's like no, he's like the guy in the chair,
Oh,
like you know.
okay.
I don't I don't like that. That's like a new jokey term for that trope, but that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I won't spoil what happens, but it got to the end, and I was
Damn.
like, oh, this is beautiful looking art, I should say too, by oh, I lost his name already. There we are, Carmine Di Giandomenico, I believe.
Oh.
But yeah, really good looking book. I like these big double page splashes for you know really hits home the action.
Yeah.
You know, and Deathstroke's a cool character. Hey, look, Lobo. That's another book that we will be talking about. But yeah, it is kind of funny. Like, we'll talk about it with Lobo. But like, I like Deathstroke's one of those characters that's like he's a villain, but he's one of those villains that can kind of carry his own series because he leans just far enough into the anti-hero thing where he's not. I don't think he's a real anti-hero the way like Punisher is, you know.
Yeah.
But he's a fun character. He's an interesting guy. They've done cool stuff with him. I really like this. I'm definitely gonna follow it. This might be the first Deathstroke comic I've ever bought.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It was really good. All right. You know, since we saw the ad, let's just go ahead and show off the other number one book that I'm excited about, Lobo,
Nice.
by Scotty Young and Juan. Is it Juan? No, it's not. Dang. Jorge Corona. Oh man, I loved this comic.
Did
So
you?
I like Lobo a lot.
Yeah.
I've recommended the original Lobo series to you before
Yes.
by Keith Giffen and Simon Bisley,
Yeah.
and this book definitely plays tribute to that. Like that's really what they're riffing on. It's just
Okay,
classic
cool.
original Lobo. That's very funny. There's a whole meta angle to it, like the original Lobo. There's like he goes to this bar looking for a bounty, and he gets interrupted because first of all, I mean, Jorge's art is just beautiful. I love the way he just draws all these weird aliens. Like it reminds me, like it doesn't look like he's trying to do Simon Bisley's art, but he definitely just leans into the weirdness, which is what Bisley did in the original
Yeah.
series. And there's this good little parody of Wolverine and Deadpool. The character, what did they call him? Fisty Claws, Murder Mouth and Fisty Claws, and everybody's just obsessed with this new movie called Murder Mouth and Fisty Claws, and it's just talking about how cool anti-heroes are, and they're like the new hot thing, and everybody loves anti-heroes, and Lobo's got no time for it because you know he doesn't care one way or the other about anybody. Lobo's the main man, and the basic setup again, like I don't want to. There's talking about like the history. There's a nice like 3 pages where he just kind of explains the history of Lobo. A lot of it is just catching up on the bullet points of the original miniseries.
Right.
And I do like that there's a good bit where he kind of changes some stuff. And
He's an unreliable.
He's an unreliable narrator,
Nice.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. It's a comedy book, like
Right.
It doesn't matter. And yeah, it's just really good. It looks great. It's full of action. It's very funny. Like you know, it's what you expect from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona.
Right.
And then I don't really want to spoil it. And this is like my only thing. It's like difficult to talk about because the kind of the main hook of the book it's like a little bit of it's not a full last page twist, but it's like the end of the book kind of plot development.
Okay.
And I don't really want to spoil it, but it's like it's very high concept and it looked really funny. There's a lot of good gags. I guess I'll point out some of the good gags and you can piece it together yourself if you want.
Okay.
But because he has to go deal with the what do they call them, the Omni Mega Plus Entertainment Corporation. And it's like the corporation that owns all entertainment, and because they're the ones that are buying out the bounties on the people that he's trying to kill. And Lobo, as we all know, Lobo has a code. He always, if he says he's going to do something, he always follows through with it, and he won't kill somebody unless he's getting paid, unless they upset him or bother him or insult him. But like he's got this weird code that's mostly played for comedic purposes.
Right.
But now he's mad because he can't kill these people that he agreed to kill because the contracts have been canceled.
Right.
So he has to go deal with this entertainment industry, and there's a lot of good jokes about that.
Nice.
There's, like I said, there's some good meta humor. There was there was even a part where he's that was actually I'm getting my Deathstroke and Lobo comics mixed up.
Oh no.
Because there's a little bit of like meta humor in Deathstroke where Deathstroke is an assassin, and he's going on a job, and the client wants him to do it a specific way, and Deathstroke goes on a little rant of like, why would you hire a professional assassin and then tell him how to do his job?
Right.
And I was just thinking, I was like, man, the writer and the artist really loved putting that in there. Like all these stupid editors, like, why would you hire me and then tell me how to do it?
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, So there's some similarities between Deathstroke and Lobo, like the whole anti-hero thing.
Yeah.
It's like they go well together, even though they're not like tonally the same. They probably, if you like one, you'll probably like the other.
Yeah.
But anyway, Lobo's great. I am super excited for a good Lobo series.
Nice.
I think that's going to be really cool. All right, one more book to talk about. This was the Dark Horse. Not
literally.
Not literally Dark Horse. This was the Dark Horse of the Evening, Century #1.
Yeah.
We both read this, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. When we discussed reading it, we kind of talked about like our background information into the character of the Century. My real only exposure to the Century was Brian Michael Bendis' New Avengers.
Yeah. I'm sure that was a lot of people's like exposure to the character. Yeah. I have I think I as I told you earlier, I have a little bit of a complicated history with the Century because I read the first series shortly after it came out back in 2000. I think it was 2000, maybe 2001 or 2.
From
the before times, right? And it like blew my mind because it was really the first comic I'd read that was like had meta elements to it, and this was before I had read most any Alan Moore book.
Yeah.
And so I had not read Miracle Man, I had not read Watchmen, I had not read Supreme, I had not read Tom Strong. I don't know if Tom Strong was out yet at that point. It was probably just coming out, which are all, in my opinion, vastly superior to the Century. And once you read Miracle Man, you're just like, oh, this is what everybody's been trying to imitate,
Right.
But so when I first read the Century, it blew my mind. Since then, it's less meaningful to me since I've discovered these other works that I think are better.
Right.
But I still really liked just the basic idea of like this super powered, like basically Superman in the Marvel universe, but he's got this like super weakness, super vulnerability, which is the Void. And the minute they tried to introduce the character of the Century into the main Marvel universe, I feel like they've been struggling to figure out a way to make him work.
Yes.
It worked really well as basically an out of continuity story, which is what the first book was. It was essentially an out of continuity story. But then Brian Michael Bendis brought him into New Avengers, and they made him like a permanent fixture. And since then, they've been really like trying to figure out how to like recapture the essence of the character
quite often.
Yeah, they did. I think they killed him finally after a few years, like one of those events. I don't know if it was Secret Invasion or Empire. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But so anyway, what got me excited about, because there have been some Century books in the past. I think there was one a few years ago that I don't have anything nice to say about it. But what got me about this one is that the original writer-creator Paul Jenkins is back writing it. And so I decided I'll give it a read. I'll see what I think. And then the second thing that struck me, although Jay Lee is not drawing this, the artist on this is Christian Rosado. The art is pretty good. It's very appropriate for that late 90s, early 2000s time period. Like I said, it doesn't look exactly like Jay Lee, but you can tell he's doing a Jay Lee style. It looks like some of the other artists that were popular at that time, like I think I'd mentioned Michael Gaydos. Another artist I mentioned already once tonight, John Paul Leon, who did Earth X. I was referencing something earlier, and I mentioned him. But
that would have been. Oh man, I don't.
Was it Batwoman?
We need somebody- it
was
might have
was
been
it Batwoman?
Batwoman,
Yeah.
We need
'Cause-
somebody to take the minutes.
yeah, we take minutes of the stream. But so I was like, okay, it looks good.
Yeah.
The original writer's back, and I gotta say, I liked this issue.
Yeah, I
I
did
thought it was
too.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like unlike a lot of books, I don't know where it's gonna go, but it did spark my imagination where it just gave me ideas of like, oh, I wonder if it could do this. I wonder if it'll go in this direction, which doesn't happen a whole lot these days,
Yeah.
depending on what I'm reading, you know. But yeah, this was good. I think the basic high concept of it is like, as the Sentry's been set up in the Marvel universe where he's got like a split personality, and so he's both the superhero, the Sentry, and the supervillain, the Void. And whenever he does good things as the Sentry, his other personality, the Void, tries to balance the scales by doing evil things.
Right.
And that's this weird space that he occupies in the Marvel universe. I kind of liked this issue. It felt very much like the first volume of Sentry, where it didn't feel like it was a part of Marvel continuity. It kind of felt like it was its own thing.
Right.
I don't know. Did you get that vibe?
Yeah, I totally got that vibe.
Yeah.
It was just, like he uses a lot of characters like Reed Richards, Spider-Man, and stuff like that. But
I like that there's even a note that a real tiny, it says this book takes place before the events of Infernal Hulk, because they don't want to have to like, it's Hulk. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Sentry. It's a classic Sentry story. Classic Sentry has the Hulk.
yeah,
This is going to be a timeless, like they want it to be more like volume 1 of Sentry, where it's a timeless story.
okay,
Like it feels more like a direct sequel to the first Sentry book than any of the other Sentry comics that have been made since.
right.
So that was another reason why I was kind of like into it more than normal. There's no like editor's box saying, to understand why this character is in a wildly different costume, go read this series, you know. Like, no, it's just classic versions of the characters.
Yeah.
I don't know, so you said you've not really have you read the original Sentry series?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, you should check that out.
Check that out.
But but you said you did like this
I
issue.
did. Yeah. I like how they play with the whole idea. Like we were talking about this a little bit, where previously established, the Void does something proportionately, evil to whatever good the Sentry does. And now that equation is kind of like flipped on its head a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's what I liked about it too.
It provokes a lot of questions about like, oh, well, how does this work? And then that leads to ideas as to where the book could go.
Right,
And it's
right. They establish, like, they kind of tease that he's been off Earth for a while, just like out in space doing stuff. And there's a little bit of a tease that it might not be good stuff,
Right.
Very similar to the Phoenix, which is another thing we talked about. I thought they had like a panel. Oh yeah, there's like a panel here of him remembering like stuff that he did in outer space. But yeah, it's like, it was a good tease, but still felt like a full issue,
Yeah.
Like I said, if you liked this, I definitely recommend reading the first Sentry series, because
Okay.
it was a lot like this.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So yeah, this is another one that I did not expect to be like putting in my poll, but I think I'm gonna see this one through to the end.
All right, nice.
All right. Well, that's all we got for today. Did you have any other thoughts?
No, I
Any
think
final
that's it.
words?
Yeah.
Anything we forgot to talk about? All right, we got it. So yeah, 4 new number ones: the Sentry, Lobo, Deathstroke, and Batwoman. Whew! Oh, that's going to be kind of a big week for me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, everybody. Like our friend Dan says, there's comics out there for everybody. It's not just superheroes, although this week it was mostly superheroes.
It was like exclusively.
It was almost right. I know. There's a second printing of White Sky and Dork and Lenore comic. It's weird and funny. But you're right. It was mostly superheroes tonight. But so yeah, definitely check us out. Fantasy Books and Games here in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Come in, buy some comics, talk to us, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.